Christine here with another cute, quick, and simple card I made with my Cricut. I am continuing on with the Birthday Bash series that I started. This one is my starting point for my next card. It's going to be slightly different, but I wanted to show you this one. I used some really pretty designer paper from my mind's eye. It is the Lost and Found Madison Avenue edition, and so I was happy with this, but I did end up running out with my little gems, and I didn't really end up liking the layout of this one. So I am going to change it up a little bit, but this is primarily what I started with. So let's get started. I started out with a chocolate brown cardstock. This is from Recollections. It's one of the 5 color pack, and I'm not sure which one, but I really love this color. It's actually really pretty. Anyways, and it's 8.5 by 11, cut at 5.5 inches, folded in half to get a standard A2 size card. From there, as I said, I used some designer paper from my mind's eye. It has a really pretty pinks that I thought I could use with some like muted beige and pink, whatever. Anyways, so that's what I started with. So I started out with a beige. I cut it, it's already together because my ATG gun ran out of tape, so I had to put this together so I could use up the rest of it before I switched it. So basically I just used a beige. It is cut at 4 by 5.25, and then I found this really pretty pink in the pack as well, and I cut it 1/4 inch shorter, so it's 3 3/4 by 5. And before I put the two pieces together, I found this really pale, pretty pink ribbon. And so I am going to use my ATG gun, and I am going to adhere that straight down against the cardstock. That is my base. So pretty much I think that's centered. Yes, just like so. Alright, from there I found this other dark pink paper. Is the same pattern as the beige one, except it's pink, and it's really pretty. So actually I forgot the measurements. I better check that real quick. So this is 1 3/4, I believe, by 3.5, and then I took some of the green and I just put in 1/8 of a round, that as a background, and I'm going to put this one right on the left edge, leaving a little bit. There's not too much of the pink visible, but I wanted to make it a little bit even, and I put it straight down. One thing I did forget to tell you is that the mind's eye paper stock is really thick paper, and when I cut it, it leaves like a white edge. And so what I did is I took some Tim Holtz Distress ink, this one's called Tattered Rose, and I took a sponge and I just distressed all of the edges on all of the papers, so it gives a little bit better of a finishing edge instead of the white, leftovers. So next I found another pretty pink paper, and this one is 2 inches by 3 3/4. Now I thought about putting the green behind it, but when I laid down my sheep and the other stuff, I thought it was a little bit too much. So this one is just going to go, leaving some room at the bottom with the pinks, making sure the ribbon can still be a little bit visible, and then just placing it straight down. Now I just used my ATG gun. This one was already sticky, so I'm going to leave that like that. Okay, so I am going to tell you about this too. This Happy Birthday I cut out from Stampin' Up. I have itsy bitsy banners, and it's a really pretty sayings cartridge. Yeah, it is a cartridge, or a saying set of ink stamps, or stamps for, oh, wow, my mind sometimes thinks too quickly. Anyways, I used Happy Birthday, and I have the matching framelits, so I stamped it out in Magneto Rich Cocoa, and then I just ran it through my Cuttlebug, and I'm going to end up putting that, you know what, I'm going to put it right down. I raised it on Pop Dots, and I'm going to just put that pretty much in the top right hand corner, just like so. Okay, and I'll show you what I did to get this pretty cute sheep. It is on page 62 of the Birthday Bash Cricut cartridge, and I did not use all of the layers. I ended up having to cut them all out, but I didn't use them all. So I'll show you my image while I'm looking at the booklet. So I started out cutting the first layer, which is the same as my base of my paper, and I cut it out at 2.5 inches. Then I cut the next layer using the same dark pink as I used already on one of the additional square cutouts, and I put some Pop Dots on the back of that. Next, I went up to layer 1, and I really don't want the background piece, but I wanted the little horn, the little blow horn that the sheep is blowing. And then in the same chocolate brown as the card base, I did the face and the hooves, and I also did this layer 2, number 2. Now I don't want the backing, but I wanted the 2, and as you see, it's the brown piece behind this, and then I cut out this 2 in the same as the beige first layer background, and I added it on top of the sheep. So I put it all together, and this is what it looks like. And you know, there's another layer of the horn, and you know, you can put the back piece on if you want it, but I decided I'm just going to keep it simple. So I'm just going to take my ATG gun, and I'm not using Pop Dots or anything because I have already layered, I don't know if you can see that, I have already layered the top piece using them already. So I'm going to just put this right about here. It doesn't really matter where it goes because the square is shorter than the distance of the sheep itself. So unlike the other card, if I bring it back, I ended up putting the sheep, it's cut at 2 inches versus my 2.5, and it fit in my box. And I ended up, as I said, I didn't have enough more of the little small little gems, so I'm gonna maybe add some pink bigger ones. Anyways, and I wasn't really happy with the scallop circle, but if you're interested in doing the scallop circle, it's Stampin' Up! Punch. It's 2 3/8. You can find one in one of the many Cricut cartridges, or you can use the punch. So I said in some of my last videos, I really need to start using my flowers and my brads and some of my adhesive gems, so I can make room to buy more, but I have really pretty brads, and I never seem to use them. I love this one, and it came, I think, from Michael's in a really pretty pack, and I have some green speckled with it anyways. And this tiny little flower, I don't know where it came from. I have just a box full of Prima flowers and stuff, so I just chose one that would match my card, and added this, and I added a Pop Dot on the bottom. And all I'm going to do is add that to the top left corner, like so. And then also, I'm going to go back to the cartridge. There's this tiny little heart. Now, I didn't cut that out, but I have a tiny little heart punch. It does the same thing, so I think it's probably a 1/2 inch at the most. And I cut out 3 or 4 of them. And I'm just going to take my two-way glue, and I'm just going to add them to add a little bit more color in the green, so that it ties it all together, because I didn't use very much green at all. And I think I'm going to put, one right here. Okay, and then maybe one right here. Okay, and I think I'm going to end up putting some of the adhesive gems that I have. I have some pink ones. And I think I'm just going to put them in the four corner and leave that alone. And that's pretty much going to be my card. So it is very, very simple to make. And it didn't take me too long. Once I have the design, most of my cards from beginning to end take me about half an hour. I mean, that could be long in normal standards, but for me, that's not too bad. Alright, so I think that's it. You know, I could be, you know, a little bit more ambitious and put 4 more right here as well of the gems, just like the other card. But there's 2 versions of the same one, and I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. Bye!